Assalamu alaikum students. Today I am going to solve February March 9709 Pure Maths exam variant 2. You can see the question number 1 which is shown over here. We have a line, equation of a line, and the equation of a curve given to us, where k is a constant, can be any real number. What is the question? The question is show that a line and a curve meet for all values of k. As you know, the curve is a quadratic curve, it's a parabola, and this one is a line, equation of a line. Now there are three types of situations you have seen when a line is interacting with the parabola. So this is the first case when your line is cutting the curve at 2 points, two distinct points. So this is also coming in meeting situation. So meeting is in terms of cutting. The second case is when the line is touching the curve at 1 point only, and in such a case we call it as a tangent line. A line becomes a tangent to the circle. So this is also favorable in terms of meeting, because he said the curve and the line is meeting. The third case is when a parabola and a line has no interaction with each other, when they don't meet. So this case is a third case when there is no meeting. So these two cases are favorable for meeting. What we have learned in our course of especially in the chapter of quadratics, that if b square minus 4ac, b square minus 4ac is called discriminant, yani when you will make a combined equation or a mixed equation, which will be formed by mixing the linear equation with the quadratic equation, it will turn into a quadratic equation in the variable x. Then you find the discriminant. The word discriminant is representing this formula, b squared minus 4ac. And this b squared minus 4ac will decide that what type of interaction we will have the line with the curve. If this is a cutting situation, then your b squared minus 4ac will be greater than 0. If the curve and the line, they are touching at 1 point, then the discriminant will be equals to 0. And if your parabola and the line, they are not meeting, then the discriminant will be less than 0. So we have to go for the discriminant, but discriminant can be reached later. First we need to combine the two equations. So I'm ready to combine the two equations. The equation of a line is y equals 3x minus 2k. Remember, this k is a constant, and the equation of a curve is given to us, y equals x squared minus kx plus 2. Now, as we said that they are going to meet, so line and curve, when we want their meeting, we need to solve them simultaneously, yani we need to put them equals to each other, because this is equals to y and this is also equals to y. So now we are going to put them equals to each other. So when you put them equal to each other, what happens? 3x minus 2k is equals to x squared minus kx plus 2. Agreed? When it happens, then it tells me that I am going to get a quadratic equation. But in order to make a pure quadratic equation, you have to write it in a proper form. First of all, x squared why not we can send both of these terms to the right hand side. So when you will push these terms to go to the right hand side, you will be left to 0 on the left, and you already have here x squared, you already have here minus kx, you already have here 2. Now plus 3x has gone to the left, it becomes minus 3x. Minus 2k has gone to the right, it becomes plus 2k, right? Now arrangement is required. We have to write first of all x squared term. Do we have any other x squared term? No, there is only one x squared term, so I write it. Now check it out how many k terms you have. I have two k terms. You can write them together, minus kx minus 3x. Now how many terms which are without x? We have 2 and plus 2k. Now before I go to the discriminant, I need to identify what are the coefficients of x squared. So the coefficient of x squared is 1. What are the coefficients of x minus k and minus 3? What are the constants I have? 2 and 2k. So let me write my capital A. Capital A is the coefficient of x squared, which is 1. Capital B, which is representing the coefficients of x, so minus k and minus 3, they are the coefficients of x, yani those numbers which are written behind x. Capital C, what is that? Of the discriminant formula, complete constants you have to copy, those numbers which are without x, so 2 plus 2k. Bravo. Now, first phase of the question is done, that the examiner was talking about a curve is meeting the curve. So we need to develop a quadratic equation. We developed that quadratic equation. The next step is we need to find the discriminant. So discri, discriminant. What is discriminant? It is b squared minus 4ac. Now, discriminant has three situations, you remember. B squared minus 4ac greater than 0, equal to 0, and less than 0. Greater than zeros is when the parabola is cutting. Equal to 0 when the line is touching the parabola. Less than 0 when there is no cutting and no intersection and no touching. So actually I am interested in this phase. I want to prove that, I want to show that for all values of k, this thing is possible. So there are two ways to reach to the target. I can start from the beginning by putting b squared minus 4ac greater than equal to 0, or what I will do, I will solve b squared minus 4ac to the stage where I will automatically find that for all values of k, the inequality is true. So I think this looks reasonable, that before I say that b squared minus 4ac is greater than equal to 0, I just need to start solving b squared minus 4ac. So what is the value of b I have? Minus k minus 3 whole squared minus 4, a is 1 and c is 2 plus 2k. Okay guys, so I just put the values of a, yani this is a, I put it here, sorry, this is a. The value of b was minus k minus 3, I put it here, and the value of c was 2 plus 2k. Okay, now I have to expand this bracket. Smart approach is this: if you see lots of minuses, this square is a shock absorber, yani it can absorb the minus sign. I can change these minus signs to the plus signs, and I'm allowed to change the signs when I am having a power square. So you can change the signs of all the terms. It doesn't mean like you can change only the sign of k. No, you have to change the sign of all the terms. But For the sake of convenience for some of the students, I will be keeping minus k minus 3. But believe me, by the end, you will see it was much better. I could have written k plus 3 whole squared. Now the time has come to do the expansion. Minus k times minus k is k squared, because minus times minus is positive. Then minus k times minus 3 will be 3k. Then minus 3 times minus k is 3k. Then guys, minus 3 times minus 3 is plus 9. Remember I told you k plus 3 is also giving you the same answer. But anyways, this is fine. I did it. Important point. If this is a minus, you have to write minus here and do everything within the bracket. Or be careful that this minus is gonna attach with this minus 4. So minus 4 multiplied with 2 is giving you minus 8, and minus 4 is gonna multiply with 2k will give you minus 8k, and this is the situation. Now we have to simplify. So this is k squared, only 1. So I just copy k squared. Do I have k's? I have 3k, 3k, and minus 8k. This will give you what, guys? This will give you minus 2k after simplification. And 9 minus 8, it is equals to 1. Done? What to do next? The next thing is you need to factorize it. How to do the quadratic factorization? Very simple. If a student go to the calculator, press the menu and go to the quadratic section. You have, because calculator is allowed in the exam, go to the polynomial equations, degree 2, enter 1, enter minus 2, enter 1. Now the first answer comes to me 1. And then again I press the equal sign. The calculator says this is the only answer. Oh, so this quadratic expression has only one answer. One answer means any one root if it was an equation. So my answer is k is equal to 1. But I need to write it in a factor form. So in a factor form, it will become k minus 1 because the 1 has gone to the left. So Mr. Omar, what we can do now, we can factorize it as k minus 1 and k minus 1. If a student wants to do it manually, then he can split minus 2k as minus k plus 1, and then he can do grouping. Different teachers have different approach. So, guys, you can do factorization. It's an IGCSE stuff, but I cannot underestimate any student or overestimate. I just gave you a calculator method, and in a calculator method, you guys can easily get the root. From the root, you can develop a factor. So since we got only one answer, a calculator is giving you one answer, but I have to write this repeated root as k minus 1 and k minus 1, two factors. Can I combine them? Wow. K minus 1 whole squared. Wallahi guys, if I substitute any value of k, whether I substitute negative value or I substitute 0 or I substitute positive value, this square is saying, Mr. K, whatever the value you have, either you have negative value, you have 0 value, you have positive value, you will make any answer here after subtracting from 1. You might get a negative answer, you might get a 0, you might get a positive answer. Square says I have a tendency to eliminate the negative thing, so I will give you a positive answer. 0 gives you 0 answer, positive square will give you positive answer, so I am going to get all answers positive or 0. Bravo. So now I can say that my answer This answer is always greater than equal to 0, and this was my mission. What was my mission? I said that the line and the parabola, they are intersecting, any meeting. So they might be intersecting or they might be touching. And this happens then when you have the value of k this for all values of k, this is possible, and it ensures that this is possible. This statement is true for all values of k. This statement or this inequality is true for all values of all values or of all real values of k. Hence, or you can simply write in the exam, shown. What is shown? The question was, show that for all values of k, the line and the curve meet. So meet means intersection and tangent situation, that a line is touching the curve. Alhamdulillah, very comprehensively I explained you the question number 1. We go to the question number 2 now. It's transformation now. This question is based on transformation. So he gave you a question, f of x, x squared minus 2x plus 5, and the domain of this is real numbers. How to solve this question? What is the requirement? The requirement is this: a sequence of transformations in the following orders. Yani first of all, you have to do stretch parallel to the x-axis with scale factor of half. Then you have to do reflection in the y-axis. Then you have to do stretch parallel to the y-axis with a scale factor of 3. And then your function will go into a new form, and the new form will be y is equal to g of x. So basically, I have to go through with the 3 phases: first phase, then second phase, then third phase, and this third phase will be called my g of x. Clear? In the first phase, he said you have to do your horizontal stretch. I call it as horizontal stretch or stretch parallel to x-axis. It depends upon the scale factor. So the scale factor is 2. Second phase, he said reflection. It can be either x-axis or y-axis. Here he said reflection about y-axis. Third, stretch. Which stretch? Stretch parallel to y-axis. I call it as vertical stretch with a scale factor of 3. My friends, what we have learned in our previous years, whenever I have a function and I want to do horizontal stretch on it with a scale factor of 2, so horizontal stretch affects the input, not the output. Do you understand it? And if I'm doing horizontal stretch, so f of x, x is my input and f of x is my output. Horizontal stretch affects only the input. How? Horizontal stretch is based on the scale factor. If the scale factor is 2, you need to reciprocate your scale factor. It is 2, 2 over 1. The reciprocal of 2 over 1 is 1 over 2. So as I said, in horizontal stretch, you need to affect the input. So what will happen to the input? Your input will be multiplied with 1 over 2, or x will be divided by 2. Again, I will speak. I'm not going to multiply it with 2 guys. I need to multiply with the reciprocal of 2, which is 1 over 2. Let me explain you horizontal stretch in another way. If I have f of x and I want to do the horizontal stretch with a scale factor of 2 over 3, come on, try. What will happen to the input, guys? Because in horizontal stretch, I have to just hit the input. So come on, what is the reciprocal of 2 over 3? The reciprocal of 2 over 3 is 3 over 2x. Lovely. So I did horizontal stretch. So I tried to explain you the concept of horizontal stretch. So now what I'm going to write, guys? Hurry up. It's 2 over 1. So I'm going to write what? 1 over 2x. Lovely. Now I go to the next stage. In the next stage, sorry guys, the scale factor is what? Oh man, it got mixed up. The scale factor was half. Thank you. I'm gonna look at this. It's half, so I'm gonna write it as 2x. Bravo. Next. Next phase is he says that I have to do reflection in the y-axis. Let me explain you both reflections. If I have a function and I want to reflect it about x-axis, x-axis will affect output, opposite sense. And if you want to reflect f of x about y-axis, opposite sense, it will affect input. How it will affect? It will change the sign of the output or change the sign of the input. So reflection in the x-axis, you have to change the sign of the output. And reflection about y-axis, you have to change the sign of the x, yani input. Allow me to do this, guys, now in the question. Is it reflection about x-axis or y-axis? He says reflection about y-axis. So what is the opposite thing? In y-axis, I need to change the sign of the input. Change the sign of input. So my input is 2x. So I'm going to write here f of, and 2 minus x, it is minus 2x. Lovely. Next stage, vertical stretch. So if a function is transformed under the vertical stretch, or some people call it as stretch parallel to y-axis with a scale factor of 3, vertical stretch and is very good. Whatever the scale factor you have, you just multiply, because it will affect, vertical thing is always affecting the output. So output is f of x. So you just multiply 3. No need to reciprocate. In horizontal case, we reciprocated. Yani 3 was multiplied, yani x was multiplied with 1 over 3 if the scale factor was 3. So this is 3. I'm going to multiply it with 3. Let me give you another question. If I have f of x and I want to do vertical stretch, my scale factor is 2 over 3. Wow. So horizontal stretch is operating, yani is affecting the output. So what will happen? I need to multiply my output with 2 over 3. No need to reciprocate it. Bravo. But if it was a horizontal stretch, come on, horizontal stretch. So 2 over 3, horizontal stretch is going to hit the input and you need to reciprocate it. That was horizontal stretch, if it was. Anyways, vertical stretch is also explained it to you. Now I'm gonna move to my final phase. So what will happen here, guys? F of, I need to multiply this output. This is my output. Now this output is going to be multiplied with what? With what? 3f. Alhamdulillah. Now we are ready to write the function. This is my g of x function. What is my g of x? 3f of -2x. What was my function? Can I copy it again? F of x, it is equals to x squared minus 2x plus 5. And how can I write 3f of minus 2x, boys? How can I write it? Come on. What is the number? 3. 3. I am going to write 3 outside. And what is my f of x? My x is minus 2x. So I'm going to replace x by minus 2x. Again, I will explain. 3 outside. What is my f of minus 2x? This is f of minus 2x, and outside it is multiplied with 3. Can I expand? Be good at your algebra skills, guys. What is this? Wow, the minus sign finished. So 2x whole squared, it should be 4x squared. What is this? Minus, yani plus 4x. And then finally, plus 5 within the brackets. I'm ready to open my, expand my bracket. So 3 multiplied with 4x, 12x squared, 12x, and 15. And this is my g of x. Alhamdulillah, we are done with 2 questions. Let's go to the third question, guys. Third question is what? It's related to the rates of change. But this is not a traditional question. In the traditional question, he's always asking you find dx over dt, the rate of change of x, where dy by dt is given to you. And sometimes he's asking you find the rate of y, where he gives you dx over dt. Oh, he didn't give you the rates of change. On other side, he said find the x coordinate on the curve. Yani this is the equation of a curve, and on the curve, he's asking you the x coordinate. He's asking you this point on the curve. And whenever you want to find the x coordinate, you always solve an equation. So how to build an equation? He must have told you something special in the question to build an equation. Let's see. Is there any rate given to me? No, the rate is not given, but he said x and y coordinates rates are same, increasing at the same rate. Yani dy over dt, this rate is equal to dx over dt. Wow. So the rates are same. Rates are same. I can call, if the rates are same, I can call them as k, but leave it. These two rates are same. So this is given to us. Let's proceed the equation of a curve. In all rates of change question, because they are related to differentiation, I have to differentiate the equation of a curve. So the equation of a curve is y equals 1 over 60, 3x plus 1 whole squared. Wow, I have to differentiate. So my students, you need to understand the derivative of y is what? It's dy by dx. 1 over 60, it is a coefficient, you keep it as it is. Now I cannot take the differentiation of 3x plus 1. I first need to meet with this 2. This 2 will go back. So I'm going to write here 2. This is the power rule of differentiation, okay? The power goes back, and what you need to do with the power, you need to subtract 1 from it. Can I copy it? 3x plus 1. So I copied it as it is. Is my job over? No. My job is not over. Up till now, I have just worked with the power. I need to also take the differentiation of 3x plus 1. This is called chain rule. So what is the derivative of 3x plus 1? The derivative of 3x is 3 and the derivative of 1 is 0. No need to write it. That's all. Now I want to simplify this mess which is created on the right hand side. I have this and I have this. You may write in the calculator 1 over 60 times 2 times 3. So the calculator will give you 1 over 10. Khalas. So this is done. I'm done with this. I'm done with this. And what is left to me here? 3x plus 1 raised to power 1. No need to write it. Now, what to do? I don't know what to do. No, we have a very important thing, chain rule. And I remember your teacher was always writing dy by dx is equals to dy here and dx here. You need to write something here so that they can be cancelled. So since I'm talking about rate, yani time, so dt. Now go back in the beginning, you said your dy by dt, is equals to dx over dt. Can I replace it? So dy by dt, it is equals to dx over dt. Check it out. It's dt. He said they are equals to each other. Keep this one as it is, times dt over dt. And what is dy by dx? I found it, guys. The dy by dx is 1 over 10 3x plus 1. We found it. Mr. Omar, dx is going to cancel with dx. dt is going to cancel with dt. What is left to you? Is equals to 1. 1 over 10 3x plus 1. Mr. Omar, in the beginning you told us we need to make an equation. We have made an equation and now we can easily solve this linear equation in x, yani make x as a subject. What this 10 is doing, can I cross multiply? So 3x plus 1 is equals to 10 times 1 is 10. 3x 10 minus 1, which is 9. X is equals to 9 over 3. And final answer is x is equals to 3. We got it. The x coordinate is done. Let's go to the next question. Looks like arithmetic progression. Check it out. The circumference around the trunk of a large tree is measured and found to be 5 meters. After 1 year, the circumference is measured again and found 5.02. Given that the circumferences at yearly intervals form an arithmetic progression, find the circumference 20 years after the first measurement. So everyone remembers, when you are working with arithmetic progression, you will be the king in the sequence. Why I'm using the word king? Because you need to know the two values, A and D. A is the first term of a sequence and D is the common difference. Unfortunately, you don't have the common difference, but the first term is given to me. A is equals to 5.00 meters. Second term, I always write it as 2 in the subscript. A2 is the second term, and he said this is 5.02. You remember common difference is what? Common difference in arithmetic progression. Yani for example, if I have a sequence, the definition of arithmetic progression is A2 minus A should be the same as A3 minus A2, A4 minus A3. So that is the difference of every next term with the preceding term, that has to be the same, and all of them are equals to D. This is the definition of arithmetic progression. What I'm going to do, guys, now, I will try to find my D. My D is what? A2 minus A. So 5.02 minus 5 it will give me my common difference 0.02. Wow, I have the first term 5 and I have the common difference 0.02. So I am the king in the sequence. I can discover any term of the sequence. So which term he's looking for? He's looking for 20th term. So 20th terms is basically equals to a plus how many differences I need to add into 20 terms? One less from this one. So I'm going to add, I'm going to write 20th term is a plus 19d. Let me explain you guys. If in arithmetic progression you want to find the 11th term, that is equal to a plus 10d. If you want to find the 50th term, it is a plus 4090, and the general formula is an is equals to a plus n minus 1d. So what did we see? If we write here n, one less from n, we multiplied with the d. So as you see, I am ready. I have everything. I'm well equipped with a, the first term, which is 5, 19, and the common difference is 0.02. When I calculate from the calculator, it gives me 5.38 meters. This is the 20th term. Next question. Given instead. The previous statement is changed to a new mod. He said that the circumferences at yearly intervals, now they are not following arithmetic, but they are following geometric progression. So I'm gonna write here GP. And GP stands on two things like AP. AP stands on A and D, and GP stands on A and R. A is the first term, and R is the common ratio. A is the first term and R is the common ratio. So if you have a sequence A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, to define geometric progression, we know that A2 divided by A must be the same as A3 divided by A2, must be the same as A4 divided by A3, must be the same as A5 divided by A4, and so on and so forth. And every ratio must be the same. That's why I say common ratio. They have a common ratio. And now I need to just see what were the conditions given. Is there any statement written above of A and B? So guys, this statement will be used in A and B. So the first term is, he wrote 5.00 meters, and A2 second term was 5.02 meters, and I want to write the common ratio because I cannot proceed if I don't find the common ratio. So from here, guys, Mr. Umar is ready to go to the common ratio. Common ratio is second term, not first term divided by second, the next term divided by the preceding term, which is A. So 5.02 divided by 5. So when you do the division, guys, you will be getting 1.00 from the calculator. Alhamdulillah. Now we are ready to solve what we actually want to get in the question, 20th terms. So I want to find the circumference after the 20 years. So 820. A20 in this situation will be AR power 19. Let me explain you guys in geometric progression. In geometric progression, how many ratios? One less ratio we always require for any specific term. So we found our A, which was 5, and the common ratio is, we found it as 1.004. And as I said in a fun way, that I am the king of the sequence, yani I can discover any term of a sequence. And which formula I can use if I want to find the 30th term? So how many ratios? One less. I have to know 29 ratios. Yani if I want to find 50, so AR raised to power 49. If I want to find A raised to the power 67, so it will be equals to AR raised to the power 66. So what is the general formula given in MF19? AR raised to power n minus 1. If you write here n, you have to write here n minus 1. Ready? So let's solve. A20, A is what? 5. And common ratio is what? 1.004 raised to power 19. Use your calculators carefully and write your answer to the three significant figures. 5.39 meters. Guys, as you remember, we always give the answer to the three significant figures when it is the final answer. Alhamdulillah, this is done. Now I'm ready to jump into question number 5 of this exam. Looks like this question is on coordinate geometry. Specifically, it is on circles. So let's revise. What is a circle? Circle stands on center. And center has x coordinate and a y coordinate. Circle has a radius. As I said, in arithmetic progression, you need to know A and B. In geometric progression, you need A and R. Then you will be the king. In the circle, you will be the king if you know the center and the radius. So am I having any of the information in this question? And the guy said the center of the circle is -2, 5. So the center is -2 and 5. And I call it as C coordinate. He said that there is a point A lie on a circle. So I can put the point anywhere. Suppose this is point A. And there is another point B on the circle. I don't know where it is, but looks like, because there is an equation here, check it out. The equation has the equation like this. So it means, be smart, guys. You know the gradient is negative. So definitely the point B will be somewhere here, because this lines, yani this type of a line has a negative gradient and this type of a line has a positive gradient. So I am not like, doing this thing like very far from what is the actual situation. And some students, they can write the B point here because they're assuming it, but try to get closer to the exact practical situation. Since my gradient is -2, so obviously the fall of the line should be like this. So that's why I have drawn a line. Which is given to me, y equals -2x plus 26. So the line is cutting a circle. Remember, in the first question on quadratics, a line and a parabola was interacting with each other. They were meeting and we were trying to build a quadratic equation. The same situation happened here. I have the equation of a line, but unfortunately, I don't have the equation of a circle right now. So the first phase of the question is this. You have to find the equation of a circle. So how to find the equation of a circle? The equation of a circle is, if you know the radius, if you know the center, if you know the radius, then the equation of a circle is, I call it Pythagorean equation, because this looks like Pythagorean, opposite square plus adjacent square and hypotenuse square. So I call it as a Pythagorean, but this is the standard form of the equation of a circle. And how do you write it as? X always, because in the equation x and y are the variables must be seen to define the locus of a circle. So then I need to check what is my A. My center is A. I need to change the sign -a, because when you say x is equal to A in a factor form, it will be x minus A is equal to 0. That's why the people write here x minus A with the opposite sign. And the y coordinate is B, and y is equals to B. The y coordinate, can you write it in a factor form? So y minus B. So I'm going to write here y minus B. And the radius is very easy. It must be given to you. So whatever the radius you have to put it under the square. Before this, guys, you need to go back to the IGCSE formula. If I have a point P x1 y1 and I have a q point x2 y2, and you want to find a distance between the 2 points, again I will use Pythagorean yani is something square plus something square. Here I need to find the difference of x coordinates, and here in the second bracket I need to find the difference of y coordinate. So what is the difference of x coordinate? I can write either x1 minus x2 or x2 minus x1. Because of the square, you don't need to worry about that. And same thing here, I'm going to write here either y2 minus y1 or x2 y1 minus y2. So distance formula is very important, and the equation of a circle I have already expressed in front of you. There is another equation of a circle which is like expanded form, but I'm not going to go to the expanded form. So center is given. Hold on, guys. The point A is 712. Why examiner gave this point to me? Because he wants a student should get the radius from it very quickly. Wow, the distance formula, IGCSE skills. He's testing on you. AC is a radius for me, and I'm gonna use the distance formula. I have to write here the difference of the x coordinates. Come on, go ahead. What are the differences? So I have 7 and here is minus 2. So you can write either minus 2 minus 7, or you can write here 7 minus minus 2. But writing this, you will get what? You will get, guys, 7. I'm just writing 7 plus 2. Okay, 7 minus minus 2, and then I write 12 minus 5. Writing everything in a calculator, it will come to square root of 130. So that's my radius. Wow, I have the center and I have the radius. Let me write my coordinates again. Center is given to me, center is given to me minus 2 5, and the radius is given to me square root of 130. I'm ready to write the equation of a circle. Pythagorean, right? Here I have to write the coordinates, yani what is the x coordinate? It's minus 2, change the sign. I have to write here x plus 2. Okay, what is the y coordinate? 5, change the sign and write here along with y minus 5. And radius is square root of 130. Now, if you want to cancel square with the square root, you guys can write 130. This is the equation of a circle. So equation of a circle is done. Let me copy the equation of a line again. The equation of a line is given to me, y is equals to minus 2x plus 16. So how to solve the equation of a circle and a line simultaneously? Like I need to use the substitution. So the value of y is how much, guys? The value of y is minus 2x plus 3. So I'm going to substitute here minus 2x plus 16. The rest of the things will stay as it is. So I'm going to copy x plus 2 whole squared minus 5 will stay as it is, squared is equals to 130, and I'm gonna replace here in the place of y, right, in the place of y I'm gonna write minus 2x plus 16. Now this bracket I'm gonna write it as 2 times x plus 2 and x plus 2, because there is a square, so the same bracket is going to be multiplied 2 times. Now I have minus 2x, and 16 minus 5 gives you 11. So basically it is 2x minus 2x plus 11. So I'm going to write minus 2x. Is it plus 11 or minus 5? Let me check it again, guys. What are the coordinates I'm getting? Did I do any mistake? No, everything is going fine. So minus 2x, is it 16 or 26? Let me check. Oh, it's 26. It's not 16. Thanks God I saw that. It's 26. Lovely. So minus 2x plus 26 minus 5 will give you 21, not 11. So plus 11, okay, plus 21. And then again, I will write minus 2x plus 21 bracket close is equals to 130. Now expand the brackets. X squared 2x 2x 4. Good plus sign. So no need to worry when you expand the bracket. If there is a minus sign, then you have to put the brackets here. Okay. Now multiply minus 2x times minus 6. Come on, it's 4x squared. Yes. Then minus 42x. 21 times minus 2 is minus 42x. 21 times 21 is 441. Bring the 130 to the left is equal to 0. Now I have to simplify this. So x squared plus 4x squared will give you 5x squared. Okay. Now next thing is 2x plus 2x minus 42x minus 42x. You need to write in the calculator and get your answer, which is equals to minus 80x. Now next, 4 plus 41, 441 minus 130 will give you 315 is equal to 0. Now go to your calculator. When you go to the calculator mod menu, polynomials, degree 2, press 5, press negative 80, press 315. Calculator will give you two answers, 9 and 7. Since it is quadratic in x, so both of them will be equals to x is equal to 9 and x is equal to 7. But I know examiner will cut your marks. Okay, in A levels he shouldn't, but it's better you have to write the factor. So you remember how to convert the root in the factor forms. X minus 9, write it in a factor form, so x minus 7. Now I'm sure examiner will not cut your marks. But if you want to show one more step, you can multiply them. X times x is x squared, and then x times minus 7x. Okay, but this is not needed, guys. Just go ahead. X is equal to 9 and x is equal to 7. So I got the x coordinates, guys. Oh, x coordinates. MashaAllah, guys, can you check that one of the coordinate is already given to you? This is B. So what is the next x coordinate? You found it. We are finding the intersection of the line with the circle. So 9 and 7. 7 is the x coordinate of A, which is already given, and this is 9. So I need the y coordinate of B. So substitute 9 into the equation of a line or a circle.